Welcome to Behind the Photo. This is Jefferson Davis of Jefferson Davis Photography. I can be found at distilledprints.com. This is a new series I've started called Behind the Photo, and this first photo, episode 1, is St. Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin, Ireland. Now, as you can probably tell by my accent, I'm an American, and more than that, I am from the South, but I have been blessed to be able to go to Ireland many times, more than a decade now. And this series and these episodes will be about a particular photo. I will warn you that I will try to keep these things under 10 minutes, if at all possible. And in fact, I'll make sure I do that. But I do have a tendency to rattle on and can talk about photography for days. It's what I love. It's what keeps me breathing. Find something that you love and do it. And do it well. But anyway, this is St. Patrick's Cathedral, as I'm sure you can see, and there are literally millions of pictures of this cathedral. So why would I waste my time taking a photo of it? Well, it's my photo, and my photo is better than everybody else's. Probably not. I'm sure there's some out there, a handful, that are better than mine. But everybody has their own take, their own perspective. Now, I am a professional photographer. I do stock photography as well as portraits and weddings. The stock photography consists of landscapes and architecture, as well as I've done a little bit of commercial work. So I do a little bit of everything, but architecture and landscape is what I love to do. That's when I come up with a new project to do, when I have the money to do a project, that's what it's about, is either travel, which consists of landscape and architecture. But this is what this is about. This photo, or series of photos, was taken in 2014. St. Patrick's Cathedral. I'll tell you a little bit about the cathedral, but we're not going to go into a whole history of it. There was originally a parish church on this spot and a holy well. And in 1191, it was promoted to a collegiate church, somewhere around 1191. That's when they started building what you see now, the nave and all of that. Over time started being built, and during the Protestant Reformation, starting in the 1530s, early 16th century, due to Henry VIII and soldiers and Cromwell and all that, part of it was destroyed. They say that some of it was due to neglect, and it might have been, but it was restored after the Protestant Reformation, and other bits and bobs were added on over the years. But it is an amazing church. I've been to churches in Ireland and Scotland and Caribbean and here in America, all over the place. And this is my favorite. Speaks volumes when you walk in the door, the smell, the sound, the light. I think the light and the sheer size of it is huge. It is massive. Now, I waited until there was no one else around except these two people that you can barely see up in the background of the photo, in the center. That gives it a little bit of scale to the photo. That's what you need in architectural photos, especially if it's something you want to sell, is you need some kind of scale, some way for people to understand how big, how large it is. Because this place is massive. It speaks of dedication, of love for God, dedication to God, of service, and servitude, and all the things that we kind of misplaced over the years. Because if we decide to build this today, do you think it would be built? Maybe. Probably not, though. Because it took a long, long time to build this cathedral. Over the years, pieces were added and restored, and then, due to neglect or whatever, destroyed again and then restored again. I mean, there's hundreds of articles and a lot of history behind this cathedral. It's just an amazing place. But this is actually, I don't know if you can tell or not through the video, but it's actually 7 photos layered together. It is technically high dynamic range, or HDR, which we all have grown to hate because people abuse that and make something that's unrealistic. But this is realistic. It's black and white. But other than that, it's exactly what I see when I go there. The light is accurate. You will see over on the right side some light that looks like it doesn't belong there. That's actually candles. If you could zoom in, you would see that. That's where that light is coming from. But this is what I see when I go there. It looks a lot like this, but in color. But I put it in black and white after layering it together, which took a long time because of the perspective, and I was using a wide-angle lens, so the columns were outstretched, so I had to straighten everything, and I had to straighten every photo the same way before I layered them together into that high dynamic range photo. And why did I do a high dynamic range photo? Well, at the time I was using a Canon 70D with a Tacuna 11 to 16 millimeter f2.8, which is a great lens for a crop sensor. But if you take in the 1.6x crop factor, it's not letting in a lot of light, and it's well known. Nothing against Canon. I used them for years and years and years. But it is well known that Canon sensors do not do good in low light. You've got to admit that. I mean, that's the truth. I'm not trying to make this controversial by saying that, but that is the truth. I've used Canon for years, full frame and crop. I'm now using a full frame Sony camera because of the low light issues and other reasons. And I just happened to have liked Sony more at the time, so sold one, bought the other. But due to that, you had to, do an HDR, do bracketing. So I shot 7 shots, and then I painstakingly put them together in a way that didn't look unnatural. I wanted it to look natural as much as possible. Fixed the perspective issues that I had with the photo, and then sent it to the printers, and I was blown away. It is an amazing photo, and I guess I love it because I've been here many, many times, and every time I see it, I can hear the sounds and smell the flowers and all that. So it's just one of my favorite, it is my favorite architectural photo, one of my favorites from Ireland. In fact, I've done a whole series of books about Ireland, travel photo books, where I give you a little bit of history about each area. And the photography, I'll give you some stuff about each area and what it's like. And it's a really good series. I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon. I'll leave a link below. Shameless plug. Sorry, gotta live. If you bear with me in the next episode, I'll be doing one of my favorite portraits, and I'll tell you about the lighting, what I used for lighting, what exposure I shot at, what editing I did, all of that in the next episode. Looking forward to hearing from you. Leave your comments below. And if you like the photo, give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, give it a thumbs down and tell me why. This is Jefferson Davis of Jefferson Davis Photography at DistilledPrints.com and many other places on the internet. I'm signing off till next time. Thank you and have a great night.